Morning, and it's good to have a full house today. Good to see everyone. This is Tuesday, July 28th, and we are ready to call this meeting to order. So we will start our day with the invocation and pledge from Pastor Corey Hambrick. Good to see you again. And you are with the Life Church Christian Center.
Indeed. Madam Chairwoman, Madam Commissioners, let us pray.
Thank you.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege of gathering today in service of the people of Rockdale County. We ask for your wisdom to guide every discussion, your discernment to shape every decision, and your integrity to govern every action. Grant these commissioners, our county staff, and all who serve this community the courage to do what is right, the humility to listen well, and the unity to work together for the common good. Help us to remember that every agenda item ultimately impacts the lives of families, businesses, and future generations. May this meeting be marked by respect, civility, and a shared commitment to justice and stewardship. Bless our first responders, our public servants, and every resident of this county. May Rockdale continue to be a place of opportunity and safety and hope. We ask these blessings in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
We all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said, by the way. All right, we have the great privilege of starting our day with the Summer Achievement Awards. So I will bring up Director Tony Holmes.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. I am super excited to be here today. It's that time of year again where we will be recognizing our 2026 Summer Achievement Award recipients. During this time, Rockdale University is our program that celebrates career development. It celebrates learning and development. It celebrates succession planning, who's up next. So we're super excited to recognize, we have 15 people that we're going to be recognizing today. I do want to, before we get started, I think you guys have heard me say one of my favorite songs. So I've asked public different version of it, but I like it. This song is absolutely inspiring, you guys, so. All right. Thank you, thank you. We have to play that. That song does represent achievement, and for anyone that has had an opportunity to sit there, it can be very emotional and inspiring. So again, thank you to the Board of Commissioners for continuing to support the employees in their development endeavors. So I'm going to go ahead and start calling people up. I do not want you guys to leave because I want y'all to hear the comments from the board. So I promise we won't keep you up here long, but I do want us to stand up here again. We have 15 people. 2 of the commissioners on that list as well. So we're going to have them come down, and Madam Chair will have you come down as well. The very first one, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We will recognize Miss Shakitha Stanley for completing her Class 3 water operator from Rockdale Water Resources. Shakitha. Next, we have Michael Moses, also RWR, for completing his Class 2 water operator program. Sharisha Binyan, also Water Resources Distribution Operator. Congratulations. You guys move in tight here. So we got 15 award recipients. Ahava Hughes, RWR. Okay. CGAWP, Plant Maintenance. Also the Technologist Class 2, Ms. Ahava Hughes, RWR. Next, we're going to call up Damon Richardson, also from RWR. They are doing development over there in water. NASCO CIPP Level 1B, Erosion Control Completion. Damson Richardson. Next, we're going to call, I was told she's not here, Mr. Karis West, RWR, not here, so, okay. We're gonna read his achievements, he's not here. But wastewater and distribution licenses, NASCO manhole rehabilitation, NASCO CIPP, Level 1B erosion control, and the geographic GPS certification. So, all of those items. Okay, next up, we would like to call up, and this is going to be from probate court, super exciting, Mr. Jamie White. No, sorry, this is a miss also. I'm getting the names right. I knew that. Ms. Jamie White, probate court, for completing her Bachelor of Business Administration, Mercer University. She made the dean's list, everyone. Wait, there's more. 30 and 60-hour certificates for the Institute of Continuing Judicial Education of Georgia's Probate Court, as well as completing the Clerk's Certificate Program. Congratulations, Jamie. Okay, this next one, he is our very own fire chief. We were just talking about this. Chief James Robinson, he has completed his master's degree in Public Safety Administration from Columbus University. Chief Robinson. Next up, and this is one of his right-hand team over here, Chief Richard Pick. Now this, before I get ready to say this, I've already talked to you guys. I know everybody says they're the greatest class of all times. So before we get here and say that, Chief Pickens from Rockdale Fire Rescue is the 2026, one of the 2026 Leadership Rockdale participants. So Chief Pickens. Next, we have up, I did see her, Lieutenant Dawn Patterson with Rockdale County Sheriff's Office. She has completed the Southern Police Institute with the University of Louisville. Congratulations, Lieutenant Dawn Patterson. Next, we have our Deputy Director of General Services, and this is Mr. Deputy Director Villano, for completing the Certified Public Manager Program with the University of Georgia Carl Vinson Institute of Government. So, Deputy Director Villano. All right, Commissioner Williams, you're gonna have to come on down. Commissioner Doreen Williams from the BOC has completed the Leadership Development and County Operations and Management Specialty Track certifications as part of the ACCG Lifelong Learning Academy. Congratulations, Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Smith, if you can come on down. She's one of those members, you guys, of I guess that greatest class of all times. She has completed the Leadership Rockdale program this year, so congratulations to Commissioner Tawanya Smith. And actually, this started when we called Judge McCray. He was the one that told us it was the greatest class of all times. He told us this yesterday over the phone. So that's where it came from. Judge V.T. McCray, he is our Chief State Court Judge, also a participant in this year's 2026 Leadership Rockdale cohort. And I believe Mary is here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mary, for joining us. Prayers to you and your family, and we appreciate you being here. Mary Torres, also with the District Attorney, also part of this greatest class of all times. She has completed Leadership Rockdale. So, Mary, if you would come on. At this time, Madam Chair, I would like you to come down.
Sure.
We're going to make some comments. We're going to get a group photo of you guys. But I'm going to need you guys to come in closer. Like we like each other. Let's move in closer. We're excited to be here. Come over here.
Good morning. It is always excellent to celebrate people who go above and beyond and search for ways that they can improve their knowledge, increase their abilities to do their job in even a greater fashion. And so I am thrilled to be able to celebrate excellence with you this morning from all of those that have been recognized today. And I want to say to the rest of our team in Rockdale County, there are still opportunities for you to keep learning and keep growing right here at Rockdale County. So I want to thank again all of you who've been committed to this program that you have chosen. There are more ways to grow within Rockdale County, and so we're glad to have you on board. Thank you.
We are going to do the photograph right now. Commissioner Smith or Commissioner Williams, did you guys want to make any comments? I know. Okay.
Well, as an educator, I'm all about continuing education and learning whatever you can learn. I remember a long time ago somebody saying it doesn't matter what your job is, be the best. And being the best means you learn as you go, because you can't be the best in everything to start with. So congratulations. I really am inspired by those who have continued to keep growing and learning.
Okay. How are you today? Good. This is good. Today we have a proclamation. Whereas thousands of times each year, the underground infrastructure in Georgia is damaged by those who do not have underground lines located prior to digging, resulting in service interruptions, environmental damage, and threat to public safety. And whereas in 2005, the Federal Communications Commission designated 811 to provide contractors and homeowners with a simple number to contact utility operators to request the location of underground lines at the intended dig site. And whereas the Rockdale County Utility Coordinating Committee, a stakeholder-driven organization dedicated to the prevention of damage to underground utilities in Georgia, promotes National 811 Notification System and Georgia 811 in an effort to reduce these damages. And whereas damage prevention is a shared responsibility, by using safe digging practices, the contractors and homeowners of Rockdale County can save time, money, and help keep our infrastructure safe and connected. Now, therefore, we as members of the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim August 2026 as Rockdale County Safe Digging Month and encourage contractors and homeowners across Rockdale to always contact 811 before digging to ensure safe digging to prevent accidents. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the official seal of Rockdale County, Georgia, to be fixed. on this 20th day of July 2026. Signed, Janice Van Ness, Chair, Tawanya Smith, Commissioner Post 1, and Doreen Williams, Commissioner Post 2. And I don't think we had any representatives here for this proclamation.
So it's
here
for
today.
the Water Resources Department. I think it's just a few of them that
Okay.
were left. Yes.
Okay, very good. I thought you were just staying to enjoy our meeting today. Darn. So I do want to tell you, as I was at Lowe's checking out the other day, the gentleman behind me, we started talking, and he had some pipes and other things, and he said, yeah, I made the mistake of digging, and I busted a sewer pipe, and I cut my cable and his internet, and so he was pretty upset with himself that he had spent money renting, one of the machines, saving money, doing it himself, and it didn't prove to work out that way. So anyway, I definitely encourage citizens to make that call to 811. It's simple. There's no additional charge. So certainly can benefit you when you start those projects. So, all right. So we'll move up a little bit.
No. Thank you.
All right, Madam Clerk, we're going to do, I'd like to move public comment to item 7A.
Okay, so if we could get a motion and a vote from the
Okay.
board to amend the agenda to move public comment to item 7A.
I move to amend the agenda by moving public comment to 7A after the discussion on the UDO.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. We'll move to item number 6, approval of the minutes.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
No.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Now we'll move to unfinished business. Item 2026-357.
So item 357 is a text amendment case 2026-03, an ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of Rockdale County, Georgia to amend Subpart B, Planning and Development of the Code of Ordinances of Rockdale County, Georgia, to repeal and replace specified chapters, articles, and sections of the Unified Development Ordinance, to adopt a reorganized Unified Development Ordinance consisting of Articles 1 through 20, to incorporate the adopted articles into the Code of Ordinances of Rockdale County, Georgia, to provide for transitional provisions, to preserve certain existing approvals, permits, vested rights, and stormwater utility regulations, to authorize codification, renumbering, and technical corrections, to provide for the severability, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to provide for effective date, and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading. And Director White is here this morning to review a PowerPoint presentation and the proposed recommendations before the board.
And before you get started, if we can go to the agenda and show that for the public who's interested, when you send those items out with the agenda, there is a clickable link, so if we could just show that.
Yes, Madam Chair, if Public Relations could pull up the Board of Commissioners agenda with the hyperlinks, please. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my microphone. I'm about to just hold it, so.
Well, that's perfect timing for me to say that sometime in September we'll be in our new space.
Absolutely.
And we'll have new microphones, new everything. So meetings should be even more comfortable to attend. We'll have more space.
More room?
Yes. So among other amenities. So yes, thank you.
So thank you, Public Relations. If you could go back to the webpage where the Board of Commissioners agenda is found. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. We love it. So when you go to the Rockdale County website and go to the Board of Commissioners agenda webpage, and you're scrolling through the posted agendas, there are hyperlinks that are associated with it. And when you click on the links, this is what Madam Chair is referring to. It takes you to the backup documentation. In this case, this would be one of the proposed UDO amendments.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Director White.
Give them a second to get the presentation. There we go.
There it is. So they'll click from behind if you just say next slide, please.
All right, next slide, please. We're working through some of the technical aspects of this, so my iPad started updating right when I came up here. So, no technical questions, but we'll talk about the rest of the process. Good morning, Commissioners. Brandon White, Planning and Development Director. So this item is a continuation of the update to the UDO, the Unified Development Ordinance process that has been underway since March of 2025. And so just a little background. Next slide, please. At the June 25th meeting, the board directed staff to proceed with the remainder of the process in two parts. The first part being any sections of the proposed ordinance that are ready for consideration for adoption. And so we moved forward with that mandate in place. And so what you have before you today is part one. We'll go through some of the highlights of each article or those sections in just a second. But part one contains all the sections, articles that we deem are finished, completed, have been reviewed, are acceptable for your consideration at this time. Part two contains the remainder of the ordinance, sections that are either still being drafted. Much of it is done, but they're interconnected. So as we make tweaks to certain chapters or articles or sections, it may impact another section. So we held some back just to work through those consistency issues. Additionally, we were also directed to take some of the items to a stakeholder group, which that process begins this evening. And so we'll talk about that in the following presentation as well. And so we do have items that are scheduled for citizen feedback and input from that stakeholder group, and we'll outline which sections would apply in that case as well. Next slide. Just for everyone's edification, the process was outlined and is subject to all of our public notice requirements for the state. Exceptions, obviously signage and the mailing requirements don't apply to text amendments as it's a county-wide activity. But they have been noticed in our in the Rockdale Citizen, our designated publication for legal ads and notices. And so we've outlined those dates as well for this process of all of our public hearings with Planning Commission and the Board of Commissioners. Zoning public hearing is what you see on your screen. Next slide. So part one contains Article 1, general provisions. We'll explain what that is shortly. Article 3, Article 4, next slide. And those are in their entireties, included in part 1. Also included in part 1 will be Article 10, Article 13, Article 14, and portions of Article 16. Next slide, please. So just a few highlights from those sections. So as I mentioned, Article 1 contains all of our general provisions, so the name of the document, purpose, title, all of those things. One of the major highlights, Section 1.6 in the proposed UDO, transitional provisions. So it is a section that's contained in the current UDO. It's about 4 clauses in there now. What we've done is expanded it to about 12 or 13 clauses to account for a variety of different scenarios. So as we transition from one code to a new code, how do the applications that apply, how will they be treated, which section of the code and which version of the code will apply to those applications depending on where they are in the development process. And so just to be as transparent as we can and as clear as we can, we've tried to account for all of the different applications. So be it a rezoning application, special use permit, building permit, licenses, land development, land disturbance permits, all those things are included in that transitional provision section. Another section that we added or expanded rather, Section 1.7, delegation of duties. So currently in the UDO, you will find that the UDO is administered by I can't see it myself, Public Services and Engineering Department, which does not exist anymore. So we've updated the code to account for the different layers and the varying levels and different directions of administration now. The UDO is administered by Planning and Development Department, Department of Transportation, Department of Water Resources, Department of Stormwater Management. We share that document, and so what we've done is include a table that lays out the responsibilities between departments as far as interpretations, who reviews applications, who makes final determinations, and who's the decision-making body on various applications. So we added that table along with language to support it. The next article that we propose for inclusion is Article 3. Most of that contains the definitions and terms related to the UDO. So you'll find all of the terms, technical terms, jargon related to all aspects of the UDO in there, terms and definitions. Just a few additions that we made. We added definition and the term agritourism. We did include a term and definition for data center. We revised the definition for flag lot. We revised the definition for temporary special event, among others. We did account for all terms, so all terms that currently exist in the current UDO have been transferred over with the addition of obviously new terms, and then we also removed some terms along with the process.
So can you do a little bit deeper dive on special use permits?
What aspect of the special use permit?
So I know that we've been having some challenges with special use permits for in one or two different instances.
Anything else on definitions?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So next slide, Article 4.
I think we're behind.
Yeah, on the slides.
We're
we are.
behind on our
Yeah.
slides. There we
Okay.
go.
So Article 4 is devoted to measurement of all things. So updates would include things like fractions. So we all remember school. If it's 5 or greater, you round up. If it's 4 or lower, you round down. So we've included a section that spells that out. Floor area ratio, density, lot coverage, setbacks, and a host of other things are contained in Article 4. But essentially it does is provide clarity to applicants, property owners, developers, anyone who needs to use the code. It gives definitions for those terms, and it explains how we use those terms. And if you could advance the slide, we also included some drawings, some illustrations to it. So this one here is for the lots. So it tells the difference between double frontage lots, corner lots, a standard lot, flag lot. So the illustrations that go along with these terms for ease of administration. One more, advance it one more, there we go. That one didn't come out too good. But that one is for lot coverage, and so what you'll see in the actual document, it highlights where the lot coverage is in comparison to the boundaries of the lot. And so that's one of the requirements that we review when we go through site plan reviews.
Does that lot coverage have something to do with impervious surfaces?
Yes, ma'am, they're directly connected.
Okay.
Yes. So for every project, we do review for lot coverage, for impervious impacts. Yep. Advancing one more, please. There we go. So we have this new illustration, and so this one is for setbacks and frontages. And so it shows, if you see the bottom left, you'll see the building frontage, lot frontage shows what that is. Shows the front setback, side setbacks, rear setbacks, how we determine what those are, how you would measure those, shown with this illustration. So there are a number of illustrations that we've had added to the code to help with the regulations and help folks understand how we do things. Next slide, please. So that's Article 4 in a nutshell. The remainder, Articles 10, 13, 14, 16, Article 10 includes development standards, things for dumpsters, right-of-way drainage, outdoor lighting is a section that we updated. Article 13 is all about streets and right-of-way improvements through our transportation department. Article 14 is devoted to environmental regulations, floodplain, stream buffers, stormwater, all of that fun civil engineering stuff. And then portions of Article 16 related to land development, utilities, and performance bonds are also recommended for adoption.
Can you talk about Article 14 a little bit more?
Yes. So Article 14 contains all the guidelines, regulations, procedures for our environmental regulatory reviews. So that includes our floodplain reviews for those sensitive areas subject to stream buffers where there are state waters or creeks or streams go through there. The 75-foot buffer that's required. So there's a process if there is development that will encroach on that buffer. There's a process for how that would go. The stormwater and erosion control, that's the civil engineering stuff that I tapped out on. I gave up at calculus, I stopped right there. But the calculations and all that good stuff as it relates to the flow of water. And so what is the flow during its natural state or pre-development state versus what happens if the proposed development is built? How does that impact the flow of water when it rains, or if there's a stream, or whatever the case may be.
Is that a mandated report that's required before construction begins?
Yeah, all those approvals
All
have to be
those
given
approvals.
before.
Okay.
Yeah, so most of it is during our land disturbance process, but it could vary depending on the circumstances.
Okay.
Let's see, discharge is related to, runoff or different, it could be mostly related to manufacturing and that kind of thing. If there's water involved in the operations, what is that discharge? How clean is it? How does it affect existing water bodies, that thing?
And tell me how that works.
So I can't give you all of the details. We have what's stormwater.
Stormwater?
There you go.
No stormwater. Okay, all right. And so essentially that's what they're looking at. They're looking at, okay, what is the condition of bodies of water, streams, lakes, rivers, what have you, before this activity occurs? What happens after the activity occurs and how it impacts those bodies of water.
Right.
And so there are calculations, there are all kinds of methodology as to how they measure that.
Okay.
So that's a part of our land disturbance review
Right.
process as well.
Okay.
Let's see. Article 16. And so for Article 16, we're only proposing 3 sections from Article 16. Our land development permit process is in Article 16. The utilities section, which just requires that any new development place all utilities underground. So that provision is carried over from the current code to the new code. And then we have a section regarding performance bonds for different projects. And so that's carried over from the current to the new code.
And how do those performance bonds work?
And so they are based on an assessment of the utilities that will need to be put in place for any given project. So be it road construction, be it water, infrastructure, all those things are assessed. And so what happens is we collect that bond. And so for any instance where the project fails, it goes under, it's not completed, then the county has the funds to go in and finish that job.
And what's the time frame that's required for the
It
performance
usually
bond?
extends a few years post the completion of the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or is it from when they start the project?
So we collect it before they start the
Okay.
project. Yeah,
But if they
first.
didn't finish it, then you could call the bond.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Right.
And we also do that for our roads as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so if everything works out, everything's done, meet all the specs, we do an inspection, all the regulatory entities perform their inspection, everything's good, then at some point we release those bonds back to the developer.
And when do we release the road bonds?
Director Kelly, I need some assistance with that.
Good morning,
Good
Madam
morning.
Chair, Commissioners. So Article 13, question was about the road bonds.
Right. What's the length of the road bonds required?
So those are usually done per mile, but we're looking for the condition before and after, and making sure that we have the ability to maintain the road after. There is some question about implementation of those paving layers, whether those are done with the contractor versus us, and that is case by case basis. Typically, we would prefer for the contractor to include that in their build out. We know that some cases that might not be able to be done, so it's should be at the engineer's discretion.
All right, let me clarify. So I know when a subdivision goes in, that they don't put the top coat on until after all the big trucks have gone through
Correct.
and things like that. They'll put the storm drains in, and then when everything's completed, they'll go back and put the top layer for the smooth road, correct?
That is correct.
But they should have performance bonds for like 8 years, I believe. How long are their performance
So
bonds?
I could answer that one.
Yes,
It's 2
thank you.
years.
2 years.
2 years upon completion of the subdivision street. So yes, it's 2 years.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you.
Good with that section? Okay. All right, next slide, please. So on to part 2. So this longer list includes everything included in part 2 of what we'll propose to the board on September 8th for adoption as the remaining portion of the UDO. And so as I mentioned before, a lot of this is done, a large chunk of it, I'd say over half is done. But because the sections are connected, we want to hold back everything just in case we need to make any adjustments. So if the zoning district changes, if development standard change, it may affect supplemental regulations and vice versa. So we held back on some of those things. And then there are other sections that we still have to work on. The administrative sections, 17, 18, 19. But most of the other ones are, I'd say, over 50 to 70% done. So next slide, please. And so as part of this process, the board asked us to facilitate some workshop sessions. So we've scheduled those for July 28th, August 6th, and August 11th. So one tonight, 6 p.m. at CE Steel Community Center. So tonight's discussion will center on the use table and home occupations. So what we'll discuss with the group are a variety of uses that we have contained in the use table and determining the appropriateness for those uses in various zoning districts. So should this thing go here or should it not? Should it be in multiple zoning districts or just this one district? So that's the exercise that we'll cover for commercial uses, industrial, and residential uses tonight. We'll also spend some time on home occupations. So taking a similar look at those, which uses should be prohibited as home occupations or businesses done in the home, which uses should be allowed with limitations, obviously, and then what kind of supplemental regulations should apply to those particular occupations. So we've had some discussion. I think we've had some folks show up with concerns about the current regulations. So we'll take a look at those, address any conflicts that exist in the code, and try to clarify those things as part of this process.
What do you typically hear as complaints about that ordinance?
The home occupation. So recently, there's been discussion about group settings or group instruction. So right now, the code limits it to 2 students for those types of uses. So we'll take a look at that. Obviously, the home has to maintain residential character. And so there are different regulations that apply to that. So we'll take a look at that. The applicability of accessory structures. So we do want to give some consideration in the agricultural district to allow accessory structures, to allow home occupations in an accessory structure, but only for agricultural properties, not in residential locations.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see, for August 6th, we'll take a look at, we'll hone in on residential development standards, architecture being a big thing, housing corridor overlay, and so that's our attempt to infuse some infill development regulations into the code in different places. And so we'll see how to best apply those. We'll take a look at the WP. So we've gotten a lot of feedback about proposed modifications to the WP minimum lot size. So currently, I believe it's 2 acres, and so we propose moving it up to 5 acres for a minimum lot size in the WP. And so that was done purposefully to limit the development pressure in that area. So I think we're all aware of the multitude of restrictions in the WP, and so this just aids in those restrictions by increasing the lot size. And so typically how it works theoretically, the larger the lot size, you're limiting the density of development in those areas. And so those numbers can go a lot higher. In other agricultural areas, they can have minimum 5, minimum 10 acres, 15, 25. It just depends on what the goal is. But we've been very clear about the goal is to limit development activity in the WP, and so we feel the 5 acre minimum does that. But we can have discussions about it and see where we turn.
Okay.
So that'll be on the August 6th agenda, all residential for that one. And then on August 11th, we will look at our administrative provisions and procedures. So everything from how the Planning Commission process works, how we intake the applications and we go through for reviews. Now some things are regulatory that we have to do, but the things that are discretionary, we'll take a look at those aspects of the process. One thing that we have proposed is adding a pre-application, well, not a pre-application, I'm sorry, a pre-application community meeting to our rezoning and special use permit applications. So currently we don't have any requirement for it at this time, but we want to put that out as a possibility to begin those conversations. So rather than those conversations beginning when the public hearings begin here, we're trying to nudge the developers, the applicants, to have those discussions with the community surrounding property owners before they get to us. And so that's what that provision would do. So that is something that we are considering among several other things. So we will have that discussion in public with that group on August 11th. Next slide.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
With these meetings, I see your workshop agendas. Are these meetings limited to these topics, or will they be able to discuss anything else that's of their concern?
These meetings will be limited to these topics.
Is there a reason why?
Yes, so we're nearing the conclusion of the process, and so to get through this process as efficiently as we can, we need to focus specifically on topics, on these specific topics, so we can get through, garner any feedback that we need, and then ultimately deliver that to you to make decisions. But we do want to conclude the process by September.
And I understand that. My concern is the fact that we have not, or if we have, asked the stakeholders what their concerns are in reference to the UDO. Have we even asked them or polled them or got their opinion in reference to, why would you want to be on this stakeholder committee? What concerns you about our UDO? Has that been done?
So I believe, to my understanding, some of that was done when the process began in March of 2025. And so there was a
Okay.
stakeholder
Well, this is a
group
new,
that
because
was-
I know we're
Right,
appointing
yeah,
new people
so
now,
this
so
new group
this
has
is,
a different mission.
okay,
And so that original group included the things that you mentioned.
okay.
This particular group, we're at this point in time, and we're trying to get to the finish line. So their sole mission is to assist us with getting to the finish line and wrapping up these outstanding issues that we have with the code.
So with the collaborative firm, when they were here, that was part of their contract with us, was to do those stakeholder questionnaires, feedback. We had community opportunities, a variety of them, for people to come and share what their thoughts were. But I did hear from some of the stakeholders that once that information was gathered, that there was more of going through the process and talking about the UDO itself, and maybe not getting as much feedback at that point. So-
Right, and that's what I did not want us to repeat. I didn't want that to happen again with, especially a second chance at doing something right. I want us to make sure that we actually do it right and have the opinion of our stakeholders, and not pretty much push this agenda. Okay, this is what we're going to talk about. This is what I want you to think about. I want to hear from our citizens and what their concerns are in reference to the UDO, not just what we want and what our agenda is.
Yes, ma'am, understood. And so I'll put this caveat out. So the direction that we've been given is to conclude this process. So at the time, when I got here, my tenure, we were on the timetable to conclude this process in March. It was subsequently pushed back to April, and then we moved back to July, and now we're at September 8th. And so if we're going back to a point where we're trying to solicit feedback and find out the needs and desires, then that takes us back to a starting point. And so now it's a much longer process. And so what we're trying to do now, based on our understanding of what the desire is of the board, is to conclude this process by September. And so we introduce new things, or things that are not currently up for discussion, then it takes us back to a starting point, and we'll have to push the process.
We're doing the whole process again.
Okay, I just.
So I understand what you're saying.
Right. And I just, even though, I mean, you can just want to do something fast, doesn't make you want, that you're doing it right. So I just want to make that point that,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know, I just want to make sure we do it right and fair for everyone, not just what the board wants, because it's more than 3 people here that live in this community. So I just want to make sure that we capture everybody's opinions and thoughts.
Yeah.
Even
so
though it was
we'll-
done the first time.
Yeah.
And that wasn't done correctly. So we have a second chance to get it right and do it differently and better for our citizens. So I just want to make sure that we do that.
Yeah, and so I think this process will be more interactive. That's how we've designed this one, but it will be structured. And so, yes,
I
we're
understand
coming
that.
in with a proposal for that group to consume this evening and to give us their feedback based on what we provided, whatever thoughts that they have. And so we'll collect that information. We'll make sure that you all have that information, and you all can ultimately decide what the process will look like. But the activities that we have for these 3 sessions, we want them to be interactive, but we do want them to be structured, measured, and moving through as efficiently as we can to get the
Understand.
feedback that we need.
So don't citizens still have the opportunity to, on the website, to give suggestions and make comments?
Yes, yes, ma'am. That option
Yeah.
is still available. Yes,
That's what I thought.
yes, ma'am.
So that would be the option for people to participate on anything else that they're interested in looking at.
Yeah, and we have
Would-
received a lot of feedback through our email. So UDO at rockdalecountyga.gov. So we receive those all the time. We compile them, package them up, and we deliver them to you. So we continue to collect that feedback. Folks are more than welcome to send us feedback via email.
Yeah, and I think citizens need to understand that has been an ongoing process since we started this, and it's still ongoing. People still have an opportunity to
Be a part of it.
comment, make suggestions, ask questions, whatever it is that they need.
Right, and I think this is one thing to clarify. So this is a project that's on a timetable, it's on a process, and so our consultant's tenure ended in April. And so now the staff has taken on this burden of finishing the project. but we also have a lot of other things that we have to do as well. And so the project has to end by September 8th.
Well,
The
and
discussions can continue. We can always revisit these things at any
right.
time the board desires to make tweaks to the code, to revise, make amendments. That process doesn't end. But the project, we do need to wrap up the project.
well, and I think by the time we finish, it will have been a year and a half.
Yeah.
And no development has been approved since that time. And I think we're losing out on developers wanting to come back in and create more housing, which we know we have a shortage of. And they want to make money, and people want to buy homes and rent homes. So I like your idea that, this isn't the final thing forever. Once it's approved, it still is subject to revising, tweaking, redoing.
Yes, ma'am. As technology changes, as development changes, as the laws change, then we adjust the codes. One of the things that we also wanted to put forth for that administration procedural section is probably codifying the process by which we make updates to the code. And so maybe we make that an annual thing. And so once the legislature is done in the spring, we come through with a batch of amendments every spring, summer, and just set our cadence to doing that on a regular basis. And so, so this is not the end of the road. We just have to end the project. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
And for me, it is time sensitive because we've invested a lot of staff time in this project, and it's created a lot of challenges, I know, for your department. But there are things that I think are the time sensitive piece is, for instance, like the noise ordinance. So if somebody next door to you has music playing loud, we can write citations, but expediently getting that handled, it's a challenge the way our ordinance is written right now. So having, for instance, if this happens, let's say at 9:30 on a Saturday night, and let's say there wasn't a code enforcement officer at that time, that means that they would call a sheriff's deputy and they would be told, there's no code enforcement, or there's no way I can cite you, and there's just not enough teeth in the legislation as it is. That is almost imperative for me to get under control. I would also say the pop-up vendors, super big problem in some areas, and that needs to be addressed at the highest level. Those are the kind of things that I really want to proceed with as soon as possible, and would be looking for on that September 8th deadline.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. So, yeah, those are included.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Any other questions?
All right. Next slide. So just a summary of some things. So we're still finalizing the zoning districts. I believe we're probably at about 90% on that. So we've scaled back. We were a little more ambitious initially with zoning districts, but we've had to scale back over the course of the project. The use table, as I mentioned, will be under discussion with our group tonight. Residential development, we'll discuss that with the group next week. And so we'll make modifications based on that. Similarly with home occupations as well. Yes, ma'am.
Do the residential development standards include the landscaping as well as the architecture?
Architecture, yes. Landscaping, not so much. So the
Because-
landscaping is more, right now, the regulations for non-residential properties have more landscaping regulations. We don't really get into landscaping for the residential properties, outside of like the overall community development landscaping, like you may find at the entrance to a subdivision or something along those lines.
Well, I think one of the things we, wanted to try to do was avoid the same tree planted in the same spot in every
Okay.
in every lot, so
Okay.
that there was some variety in that.
Okay.
Just like there's, some wording talking about standards in, you can't have the same architectural standard in every house.
Right.
It needs to have
Same thing
a
for-
difference
gotcha.
in landscaping also.
Gotcha. Okay. I can't tell you what we have off the top of my head, but we'll take a look at that and we'll see what
Okay.
we can do with that.
Because I know that I worked a couple years ago with a couple of developers to do that, make
Mhm.
sure it was all different. But if it's just part of the code, then they know they have to do that.
Yes, understood. Gotcha. Let's see. We'll finalize drafting. QA, QC obviously will be a part of that process. Then we'll submit the document for legal review over these next few weeks. Next slide. So here's the timeline. As I mentioned, the process started in the spring of 2025. So here we are today, July 28th, highlighted in yellow. So we've included the workshop dates for tonight, next week on the 6th and August 11th on the timetable. What our goal is to have a final draft completed and publicly available by August 25th. So commissioners, you all will get it. It will be online by August 25th. So that's 2 weeks before the September 8th meeting. And so we want to allow that time. So if there are any last minute changes, we'll have time to make those adjustments, have those conversations. So what we have asked, though, we would ask for today, if you all elect to vote today, and for the second batch in September, is to make the effective date for the code October 1st. And so what we had built in before was some time for the staff to make adjustments. So we have to update the zoning maps. We have to update our systems with the new districts and with new code sections and those things. And so that all takes some time. We have to train staff on the new codes, where to find things now, that type of thing. And that's for all 4 departments. I'm sure there'll be some other surprises along the way in that process. And so that gives us about 3 weeks from the 8th to do all those things. And we're moving. And so we'll do all of that and have fun in September. And so, yes, by October 1st, we should be ready for business.
Okay.
And so we would respectfully make that request to the board. Yes, ma'am.
And let me ask you this. So along the way, at our next board meeting, if the committee comes back, works through this, and makes suggestions for that date, we could go ahead and approve those new updates, correct?
At the next board
Meeting, at our next board meeting.
At the
That would be
14th?
August 11th.
August 11th.
So,
It would depend on what it is. If it's relatively minor, that's a possibility. If
Right.
it's a big thing, then it may have to wait till
Well,
the larger
if you look
batch.
at a lot of what was presented today, those are name updates, a lot of verbiage changes, but just updates or omissions.
Mhm.
Those kind of things you can get out of the way and then work on other items that are, next on the list, if you will.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Like noise ordinance and those pop-ups. So,
It's on the
Anyway,
list.
anyway.
Those are on the list.
yes,
Those are on the
okay,
list.
very
well, I
good.
will add this, Madam Chair, just for sake of clarity. The noise ordinance, we could work on that now. That's in Subpart A. It's not in the UDO, so we wouldn't have to go through the same
Okay.
public hearing process. So I'm making a little note simultaneously with Director White. We could start working on that one.
And the pop-up vendors,
The
too?
pop-up one would have to go through the public hearing process in the sense it's part of the UDO. So we can.
We're working on,
work
we have a
those
definition, we have a
simultaneously.
term, so we'll work through what the regulations needs to look like. So we've done some research on it.
Okay.
Let's see, next slide, please. All right, so I've done enough talking for one day. So Planning Commission recommended approval of the UDO at its June 18th special call meeting. Staff recommends approval of the UDO Part 1 to include Articles 1, 3, 4, 13, and 14 in their entirety. Article 10, except for Section 10.5, and Section 16.1, 16.4, 16.9, and 16.10 of Article 16. Next slide. I think that's the last one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions?
I don't have any. Okay.
All right.
Very good. Nope.
So, Madam Chair and Commissioners, this is before you for a second reading. Did you want to, since we amended the agenda this morning, go to public comment first before the vote, or the vote and then public comment?
No, we'll do public comment and then the vote.
Okay, thank
would
you
be my
for the clarity.
preference. If that's good.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, and then I did want to let you know that even though the streaming stopped, the recording was still going, so anybody can watch it later on YouTube and get all the information. So, all right, at this time, we will start with Kenya Anderson.
I numbered them.
Oh, that's not normally how we do it, but okay. All right, so Sarah, I'll let you go.
Cold here. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I want to say that my son has now been to four commissioners meetings, which is more than I attended in the 19 years that I've lived here. So he is a very established young man.
Very
He's ready
good.
for his political career. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So, hello. My name is Sarah Kennedy. I'm a Rockdale County resident, and I live in the Lake Capri area, which is located less than a mile and a half from the proposed MM&M Grind Capital Center data center campus site. Out of an abundance of caution, I am here to publicly make my constitutional objections. I am publicly making my due process, equal protection rights violation objections known, publicly and on camera. Commissioners, I do not believe that this process should proceed in any way without the full view of the law of this entire procedure. I've made my constitutional objections publicly. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Mr. Bailey, Miss Bailey.
Mr.
I'm sorry, I couldn't read your first name, so I apologize.
It's okay, it's Lamar.
Oh, Lamar. Okay, thank you.
The gentleman I read his statement the last time.
Okay. I'll get that. Thank you. Go ahead.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Lamar Allen Bailey. I am a Rockdale County resident, and I live at 2375 Farmer Road, Conyers, Georgia 30012, which is located directly on the property line from this proposed MMM Grind Capital Data Center campus site. Out of an abundance of caution, I am here publicly to make my constitutional objection, and I'm publicly making my due process and equal protections right violations objections known. Commissioners, I do not believe this process should proceed in any way without the full view of law. I have my constitutional objections. Thank you.
Can you tell me about those objections? What part in particular? Or
No.
you?
I don't want it on my property. It's literally right behind my house. So this is as much as I know. Like,
Okay.
it's
All right.
my property line is like literally backed up to it. I can toss a rock to it. That's too
Okay.
close.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And SAP?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, my name is Ann Sapp. I'm a Rockdale resident. I live at 2757 Westminster Lane, Conyers, Georgia, which is located approximately 2 miles from the proposed MMM Grind Capital Data Center campus site. Out of an abundance of caution, I am here to publicly make my constitutional objections. I am publicly making my due process and equal protection rights violations known. Commissioners, I do not believe this process should proceed in any way without the full view of the law. I have made my constitutional objections on camera and in public. Thank you.
Can you tell us what those objections are?
You'll have to talk to my lawyer about that.
So you don't know what your objections are,
I do,
but you can't share them?
but no. My lawyer will address that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next, Alexandra Harvey.
morning, ladies.
Morning.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Morning.
You all know me as the woman that stood up to speak about sound, the mom concerned for her family and community's health and well-being, but I wear a lot of hats. I am many things, and first and foremost, I'm a child of God. Even when my words fail and my voice trembles, God speaks through me. With great power comes great responsibility. I ask you now, why did you get into this position? Was it random? Did it fall in your lap? Or did you want to make a difference in your community? I've been made aware that you've appointed a UDO stakeholder committee. I've been told it was not required of you. It was allegedly to do us a favor. So thank you for that. Upon reviewing the members of this committee, it seems to be largely disproportionate in what the community's wishes have been so far when we've publicly spoken to you. We only have 2 women on the committee, from what I've seen, that are opposed to the data centers in this area. In many cases, the majority that gets to speak is the majority with the voice controls the narrative. Our legislation requires guardrails. We need to start over as many times as necessary to protect our community. We're not a burden, we're a living, breathing community. Esther 4:14 says, if you persist in staying silent at a time like this, help and deliverance will arrive from someplace else, but you and your family will be wiped out. Who knows? Maybe you were made for such a time as this. I've taken the time to look upon all 3 of you. When I look at you, I see humanity, I see faith, I see 3 women who may have been made for such a time as this. You have to ultimately make the right decision. I challenge you to all to rise to the occasion, walk by faith, put on the armor of God, because what we do in this life echoes into eternity. Ephesians calls us to make the most of our time here. James said it was a sin to know the good and not do it. When words fail, God speaks. You have heard our cries. You've been made aware of our objections. We've reviewed the statistics. Your community's livelihoods and lives are at stake. So when you get the opportunity to make decisions that will affect everyone around you, please allow God to speak through you too. I'd like to state in advance to the Board of Commissioners meeting on August 25th regarding rezoning of our agricultural and residential areas in Rockdale County and any future plans made for data centers in our area. I am here to publicly make my constitutional objections. I am publicly making my due process and equal protection rights violation objections known. Commissioners, I do not believe that this process should proceed in any way without the full view of the law. I have made my constitutional objections. Thank you.
And what is the full view of the law that you're specifically talking about?
You ladies work for us. We have the right to due process. We should be heard.
Absolutely.
Our opinion should be heard. Our concerns should be heard. We should be listened to. We shouldn't be grouped into a small UDO stakeholder meeting with only certain topics at hand. We should be able to speak our concerns. The UDO has been changed multiple times. With each one of those changes, we should have the right to speak our objections.
So the task force was not just a one-band focused agenda. It's for the scope of the UDO. So those things will be addressed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Kenya Anderson, sorry. Morning. Morning.
My name is Kenya Anderson. I am a Rockdale County resident, and I live at 2605 Farmer Road, Northwest, which is 1 foot away from the proposed MMM Grind Capital Data Center campus site. So basically, when you walk to the end of my property, which is about 8.77 acres, cross over the creek, which is on my property, and then go up to a fence where my neighbor is, right there to the left is the other part of the land that is on my border. Out of an abundance of caution, I am here to publicly make my constitutional objections. I am publicly making my due process and equal protection rights violation objections known. Commissioners, I do not believe that this process should proceed in any way without the full view of the law. I have made my constitutional objections. Thank you. I do want to add, I am willing to give one of the protections that I'm looking for is protection for clean water, protection for clean air, protections for lack of noise disturbance that will affect my health. And there's so many other things. I don't want to take up a lot of time, but I will let the attorney say the rest.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that with us because that gives us a little bit of purview into what your specific concerns are. And that you can voice them really helps me personally. So.
And I also want to add, I know that you've already closed or already selected the members for the subcommittee, but if there's space for the next 2 meetings, I would like to be on that subcommittee.
Thank you for asking.
you.
I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. All right. At this time, I'd like a motion.
Alrighty. Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the second reading and to adopt this ordinance as presented.
I second the motion.
Is a point of so I have a motion and a second. If we could just have a minute to discuss this, I would like to do that. So I think based on what we heard today, there are several sections. So like 1, 2, several of those were good. There were a couple of smaller nuances that I think could relate to some of the things that we want focus on from the community. So I might propose, and let me see if I can, hold on, let me see if I can give you some specifics that we want to make sure of. Let me get to that. So even things like land disturbance permits would be one example.
And would that be an example of what you would want to approve, or
what I'd like to just let the
wait on?
committee meet to look at some of those nuances that I don't want to
Take
slip
those out.
through. Yeah. So
Can you talk about the nuances that you're concerned about?
right. So if they could be related to any of the data centers, if they could be related to the land disturbance permits for other projects that would be tied in. I just don't want to approve it and then have to go back, but maybe the Madam Clerk.
Defer it.
Yeah, I would just recommend deferring it so that the committee can maybe look at that, approve that, and then at the next meeting, we could just move forward
So
with
Madam
those
Chair and
items.
Commissioners, that would be my recommendation because I don't want to speak on over Director White, but we work so closely, I feel comfortable doing this. I feel like if you pull out provisions of this ordinance that's in front of you, that you may be affecting another part,
Right.
specifically
That's
the
right.
definitions, and we might miss something.
Correct.
So if we could, maybe we could restate the motion
Okay.
and have it for deferral for the next board meeting. It would give time for the committee to take up some of these issues, and then we could list out if it's just LDPs, land disturbance permits, sorry, or anything else you would like them to look at.
Okay.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, and although all of this, so many pieces of this look great, I just don't want
Right.
those 1 or 2 little things to get us
Yep.
hung up and have to start all over again. So I think
Well,
a
and that's
deferral would
right.
be
And
helpful.
since the request for the effective date to be October 1st, I wouldn't see any harm in deferring it. It wouldn't be codified, right away anyway.
Okay.
So I think what we would need to do is to restate the motion and do that again for a deferral.
So I'll have a call for the vote of the first motion, and then we'll restate.
No, I would not vote on that.
Okay, all right.
I would say that we would take up the item again for second read.
Okay.
And there would be a motion and a second to defer to the next Board of Commissioners meeting. And then we can, is it just the land disturbance permit that you want to?
No, there may be
That's
other
fine.
things that I just like them, the committee, I mean, that, to me, that was the purpose of putting the committee together.
Yeah.
Is for them to have the chance to look at these things. Since we talked about this today, maybe that's one aspect of what they can do is, there's nothing that we see problematic, this can move forward, that kind of thing, so.
Agreed.
So Then I'd like to make a motion that we defer the ordinance until the next regularly scheduled BOC meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, good. Any questions?
I do have a comment. This is exactly what I was trying to do, but we were on a time frame. We had to get finished. Now everybody's okay with stopping and pausing and going back.
Well, and I
That's
appreciate.
exactly what I wanted to do. Wait.
No. So I heard you. So I did hear you, and so for me, this is kind of like a work session / voting session where I never mind people saying no. We can wait. So I just don't want to pause the whole thing because
I wasn't
there are
saying that,
real
yeah.
things that need to happen. We cannot.
I feel the
continue
same
to-
way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm on the same page with you.
we're all on the
But I
same
just
board.
want to make
Yes.
it known that this is what I wanted to do.
Well, thank you.
But everybody wanted to push it on because we got a
Yes.
deadline. But anyway.
So let me say this. It is nice to have one piece out of the way,
Yeah.
but because I saw a couple of things that I'm like, I just don't know if it could be connected to the others. I think this is
Understood.
going to be the quickest way for us to be able to assess these things, give the committee time to look at them, and then come back and we won't have to restart part of it. So
Okay.
I think it will achieve the goals for all three of us.
Okay. Awesome. Question for Brandon. Now, this is not on the agenda. Is that okay? That this is added to their agenda? Because I know you're, specific on the agenda
So
for those
the
days.
next board meeting is August 11th.
August 11th.
For the stakeholders, what I'm talking
The
about.
stakeholders committee.
Okay, so a couple of ways we can approach it. So we have the scheduled meeting on August 11th, actually, that evening. That's devoted to administrative procedural things, if that's what the concern is.
So is that
related
what this
to
would fall
LDP.
under that?
Is
then?
that the concern?
But that'll be your third meeting.
That'll be
No,
the third meeting.
Yeah.
Third
That's the
meeting.
last one.
If there's something
But our
technical-
BOC is in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And theirs is in the
exactly.
afternoon.
So we'd have to have it before then.
Okay, so we can modify, let's see, this.
Maybe it can just be a point of introduction tonight for.
Yeah,
the
we can start it
second
tonight,
meeting.
and then we can revisit it on the 6th. So that'll be the Thursday before your next meeting.
Okay.
And they can
Okay.
talk about it that night.
Yeah.
Just send me the specifics, I guess, of what the concerns are, and
Okay.
then we'll
I'll
make
send
sure
those to you.
it's on there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. You asked for a vote now.
Yes.
Yes.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Okay, so just to be clear, we have deferred this ordinance to the next board meeting.
Correct.
So to make sure I say that, okay. Right. Okay, we are on to new business now. Item 359 is with Gwinnett Technical College for the Emergency Management Agency. It's a memorandum of agreement regarding Animal Services Division and Veterinary Technology Division to provide dogs and cats to participate as patients for the vet tech students. This is at no cost to the county. It's 1 year with option to continue 1-year terms for additional 2 years. Would you like me to keep
Yes,
going?
please.
Okay, thank you. Item 360 is with Crown Castle for Emergency Management Agency for the tower modification. This is change order 23 to contract 2007-46. It's for AT&T plans to swap the equipment on the tower located at 2259 Smyrna Road to minimize the amount of towers in the area. This is at no cost.
Can, Director Webb, can you address this? Looks like a really great opportunity because fewer towers are always good in my opinion.
Good morning. So Crown Castle actually does sublease that from the county, and we get a payment of $1,200 and something every month. So what they do, they subcontract it out to other, usually cellular, AT&Ts, Verizons, things like that. So what they're trying to do is take some of the equipment off of that tower to combine it into one. If you ever notice a tower has stuff all over it,
Yeah.
and so they're just trying to combine that into smaller amounts of equipment on those towers.
Okay. And so it could improve phone service in that area?
Fingers crossed, yes,
Oh my
ma'am.
gosh. I might actually be able to have a full conversation in my
Right.
house. This is
Asking for a
miraculous.
friend.
That is our hope.
That would be great. All
Okay.
right.
Item 361 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council for Superior Court 1. This is a grant for Adult Drug and Veterans Treatment Court. The amount is $409,931.22 with a match of $72,341 for a total of $482,272.22. The term is July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item and is submitted for ratification. Item 362 is with Eaton Corporation through the Water Resources Department for high service pump number 3 drive repair. The amount is $22,601. It's net 30 days through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 363 is with Helix Grading and Utility LLC through the Water Resources Department for the construction of the Honey Creek and Scott Creek pump stations and force mains. The amount is $7,913,597 plus a 10% contingency, making it the contingency is $791,360 for a total of $8,704,957. This is for its 730 calendar days from the notice to proceed unless terminated. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 364 is with Raheem Williams through the Parks and Recreation Department for clock manager for the Hoops After Dark. Is $15 per hour and an amount not to exceed $3,000. Is through December 31st, 2026. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item. Item 365 is with Jatarius Johnson through the Parks and Recreation Department as a clock manager for the Hoops After Dark. Is $15 per hour and an amount not to exceed $3,000 through December 31st, 2026. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item. Item 366 is with Brandon Saifo for Parks and Recreation Department for the clock manager for Hoops After Dark. The amount is $15 per hour, not to exceed $3,000. This is through December 31st, 2026. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item.
That name is Brian. I think you said Brandon. The first one was Brandon.
I think they're brothers.
Yeah, no, it sounds like she said Brand. I thought you said
you're
Brandon.
right.
Yeah, it's Brian.
Brandon.
It's the
I'm
second one is
transposing
Brian.
the two. They are brothers, yes. So let me clarify. 366 was Brandon. 367 is Brian Saifo through the Parks and Recreation Department for clock manager for Hoops After Dark. Is $15 per hour, not to exceed $3,000. It's through December 31st, 2026. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item. Item 368 is with Kellen Grant through the Parks and Recreation Department. It's program coordinator assistant for the Hoops After Dark. It's $20 per hour and an amount not to exceed $3,000. This is through December 31st, 2026. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item. Item 369 is with Southern Mechanical HVAC Contractors through the Parks and Recreation Department for the pool pack equipment inspections and maintenance at Johnson Park Recreation Center in an amount not to exceed $4,530 annually for the first year, $4,756 annually for the second year, $4,994 annually for the third year, and it's 1 year from option to renew 2 additional 1-year periods, renewable each year unless terminated. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 370 is with Savvy Solutions, PBC, through the Human Resources Department for providing Public Promise Insurance Program for Rockdale County employees for student loan forgiveness through education and advocacy. This is change order number 1 to contract 2024-82. The current yearly price of $70 per registered member, increasing the yearly price to $80 per registered member. It's covered through the wellness funds. It's through May 31st, 2027. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 371 is with MGT Impact Solutions through the Finance Department. It's indirect cost allocation plan services and an amount not to exceed $9,850 for year 1. Year 1 with the option to renew 4 additional 1-year periods unless terminated. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 372 is with Monday.com through Technology Services Department for project management software used to track SMART and KPI goals. This is for the 2026-2027 renewal, covers 70 users. It's change order number 5 to contract 2023-92. The amount is $43,680. The term is July 3rd, 2026 through July 2nd, 2027. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 373 is with GTR Business Systems for the Clerk of Court's office. This is the annual preventative maintenance agreement for date time machines, handheld printers, electric embossers. The amount is $3,267.35. The term is July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 374 is with Georgia Department of Juvenile Justice through the Juvenile Court. It's a contract extension for Youth Reporting System grant. It's change order number 3 to contract 2023-77 is $42 per youth per day. It's an extension through September 1st, 2026. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item and is submitted for ratification. Item 375 is with Vertical Earth Incorporated through the Transportation Department. This is for the LMIG and LRA roadway rehabilitation. It's change order number 1 to contract 2025-90. It's in an amount not to exceed $286,140. It's adding 8.6 miles of road resurfacing services and to extend the term by 45 days through July 3rd, 2026. This is through the LMIG and SPLOST Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 367 is a requisition through Emergency Management Agency Department for ANS services. This is pursuant to contract 2025-09 for maintenance plan for weather sirens. The amount is $24,281.70. This is for the year 3 payment through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 377 is a requisition through the Finance Department for Snap-on Industrial for 5 individual electric vehicle cart organizational maintenance toolkits. The amount is $12,867.34 each for a total of $64,336.70. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item. Item 378 is a requisition through the General Services Department for Mighty Light for new chairs for the dining room at the Senior Center. The amount is $31,564.36. This is through the Capital Improvement Project Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 379 is a requisition through the General Services Department for Aikens Ford Dodge for wrecked vehicle replacement for the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office. It's a 2026 Dodge Durango. The amount is $45,250.10. The county has received the check from the insurance company in the amount of $36,618.70 to be applied toward this replacement vehicle. This is through the Capital Improvement Project Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 380 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for Pro Fence at the Tatum Road Facility site improvements. The amount is $15,575. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 381 is an expenditure request for MCCI pursuant to contract 2022-130 through the Technology Services Department. This is for software for secure scanning document repository and licenses. It's a renewal for 2026-2027. The amount is $21,662.47. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 382 is an expenditure request through Quicket Solutions for the Technology Services Department. This is the annual subscription software for code enforcement case management system. The amount is $56,710. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 383 is a volunteer appointment for the Public Facilities Authority for Alicia Sanders to be reappointed for a term of September 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2029. Item 384 is policy 2010-1-8 as amended for the purchasing and procurement policies and procedures for the dollar limitations and quotes for quotes and bids section to increase the threshold amount from $2,500 to $5,000. Item 385 is a resolution of the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners to accept the withdrawal of rezoning case 2026-01 without prejudice and to waive the 12-month prohibition on subsequent amendment applications on this subject site. Item 386 is with Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, Superior Court 2. This is a grant for the Rockdale County Adult Resource Court. The amount is $283,107 with a match of $49,960 for a total of $333,067. The term is July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item and is also submitted for ratification. Item 387 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the Juvenile Court. It's a grant for the Rockdale County Juvenile Mental Health Court. The amount is $87,155 with a match of $15,380 for a total of $102,535. The term is June 30th, 2026 through July 1st, 2027. This is grant funded, a budgeted item, and is also submitted for ratification. Item 388 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the Juvenile Court. It's a grant for the Rockdale County Juvenile Drug Court. The amount is $123,483 with a match of $21,791 for a total of $145,274. The term is July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. This is grant funded, a budgeted item, and is submitted for ratification. Item 389 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the Juvenile Court. It's a grant for the Rockdale County Family Treatment Court. The amount is $152,048 with a match of $26,832 for a total of $178,880. The term is July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. This is grant funded, a budgeted item, and is submitted for ratification. Item 391 is with Pinnacle Maintenance through the Parks and Recreation Department for landscape and grounds maintenance for county facilities. The amount is $64,700. This is for 1 year with option to renew 3 additional 1-year periods renewable each year. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. So we left off at item 359.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve items 359 through 390 as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? No? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. All right, at this time, we have board comment.
Go first? Okay, sure. Hello. Constituent services is still going on with Congressman David Scott's office on Fridays from 10 to 12 at the library. And just a reminder, today is the election day to elect the person to fill his position today. Also, KCRB, we did our Rain Barrel workshop last Friday, and it was well attended, and it went off very well. Thank you for those that participated in our Water Resources Department for their participation as well. And we have a few upcoming events coming soon, so stay tuned for those for KCRB. And I want to thank everyone who participated in our One Rock Back to School Bash that was last Saturday. It was well attended, and we had vendors and different people there that were presenting the community with their resources. So we appreciate everyone that participated and gave to make sure that our students have a little bit of something that they need to start our school year. Thank you for that. And those are my comments.
Okay, coming up on August 20th is our Nonprofit Appreciation Brunch. This is the 8th annual one, the 9th year, but we skipped a year, that first year during COVID. And I'm excited about it. It's such a great honor to be able to recognize the nonprofits that serve in our community. They do so much work and so much good for our citizens that I'm excited to be able to offer them this opportunity for recognition for the work they do. Last week, I was able to attend the National Association of Counties, NACO, conference in New Orleans, and I just wanted to share one thing that I learned that I thought was so fascinating, was between 15 and 20% of our population is considered to be neurodivergent. That's kind of a new term that's come up in the last 5 or 10 years. But it means that those are people whose brains work differently. It could be autism, but it could be ADHD. It could be a mental health issue. It's a wide a wide variety. But this particular session focused on how we can respond as a county to the needs of our different residents, considering 15 to 20% think differently. So the Miami-Dade County Commissioners created what they're calling the Florida Neuro Inclusion Toolkit. And so they talked about how to implement that toolkit. And I came home with that. I believe, Chair, that you got a copy of that too? Mm-hmm. Okay. As well as it's online. I just thought that was really fascinating and interesting. And I think those are my comments.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I do want to remind people we'll be available today from 1:30 to 3 for at the Board of Commissioners office at 962 Millstead Avenue for open discussion from citizens and business owners in our community. So we welcome you to attend. We will have coffee and little treats available. Also, the back to school event and the concert that we had this weekend. Excellent job to our Parks and Recreation Department. I mean, I'm impressed. You guys were out there a long time in that heat, and so thank you very much to your team. I did want to also mention a shout out to Director Brian Kelly and his team. You had 14 people come in over the weekend from the community improvement team and the Rockdale Department of Transportation to help do grass cutting throughout the community. And although we do have a vendor in place, we're working on tightening up that contract and making sure that we can meet the goals and expectations of our community members. So thank you very much. Please send my regards to both Parks and Rec and to the teams that helped. Additionally, I just wanted to say that we have on the UDO Stakeholder Committee, we did that because we want a new set of eyes on those challenges before us, making sure we get things as close to right the first time around as we pass this. But it is a living, breathing document, so updates can be made and there's processes for those changes. And as I stated earlier, there are some critical issues that need to be addressed. And we could save a lot of staff time from both code enforcement and law enforcement by not having to go out repeatedly to the same addresses. So we hope that will be the outcome from those improvements. But thank you very much to Planning and Development, your team, the volunteers that have participated in the past and will be participating moving forward in that process. Thank you. And that is all the comments I have today. I know that we do have a need for executive session.
We do, to discuss personnel, land acquisition, and pending and threatened litigation.
Madam Chair, I move that we move into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel, land acquisition, and pending and threatening litigation.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you and have a great day. This meeting is adjourned.